Hi everybody. I'm just going to wait for some of you to hop on before I start talking and saying hello to see how everybody is. I think I'm on time. I am on time this evening. Hey everybody, how are you doing? It is Zoe from Sugar Street Studios. Really lovely to be back at the cake decorating company, and an apology because I should have been here last week doing this, but I actually have hurt my wrist through working just cake making stuff. I guess it's been a bit rubbish, so I was a bit sorry for myself and I had to lay up and not do much, but I am back this week and everything is ready to go. So really nice to see everyone. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm just going to put my comments in so I can see, and just, I don't know, give me an emoji, or give me a word or an emoji that tells me how you're feeling about Christmas. That's what I want to know. Are you excited about it? Hi, evening, Nesma. Are you excited about it? Are you over it already? Have you done your Christmas shopping? I'd quite like to know. Just to cheer me up. I've done some shopping, but I've got some way to go. So talking about Christmas shopping, or even just talking about Christmas, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to share with you a demo on a really, really, really cute little gingerbread girl figure based on a kit that the cake decorating company are selling. Hi Natasha, hi Gina from France. Wet, yes Donna, wet. Very, very wet where I am as well. There's a storm. For those of you that are not in the UK is undergoing a big storm at the moment. It's pretty horrendous weather. There's people without power. There's all sorts of stuff. So if you are one of those, stay safe and stay warm. So yeah, Christmas. Yes, I'm excited about Christmas. I'm excited about Christmas too. So let me just show you. I'm just going to flip my screen. 1 second. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing tonight. It's just so cool. So let me just explain a little bit about the kit, and then what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be demoing this little character here, okay? Well, I'll show you how we go about making this. So candy clay, so those, some of you may know, some of you may don't know. So candy clay is Sugar Street Studios product. We have two types of candy clay. We have the original version and we have the firm version. This kit is sold with the firm version, and that's because we're going to make these awesome little toppers. It's a harder, firmer paste, so it's really designed to supporting figures like this. And all you need in here is a cocktail stick to hold it up. So the kit comes with 1 kilo of the candy clay, enough for you to make all 4 characters and have stuff left over, right? As well as the candy clay, you get 5 magic colour gels. These are pro gels, and in the kit you'll get a yellow, a brown, a red, a green, and a black. And from those 5 colours, you'll be able to make all the colours that you need for the projects that are included in the kit. You'll also get a couple of tools, PMA tools. So we've got a Dresden veiner tool and a ball tool. It's the only things that you're going to need sugarcraft tool wise. And the kit also comes with an edible marker. Now, it might be a Magic Colours one, it might be a PME one, but it'll be a black edible marker. I think actually Tori's just putting the details up there. So that's what you get. And then in addition, you get my very lovingly, super lovingly made tutorial. So this gives you step-by-step instructions on how to make the 4 characters that you're looking at here. And tonight I'm going to show you how we go ahead and make Ginger. So you can see that live, and if you've got any questions about modelling, about toppers, about the kit, you go at me, you tell me, you ask me. That's what I'm here for, okay? Just a little word about the tutorial. I do a lot of this kind of stuff with my children. A little bit less so now that they're older, but we did an awful lot of it when they were younger, and it was really important for me to design a step-by-step tutorial that was very, very user-friendly and easy to follow. So the the clay is white. That's the original colour, and I give you instructions with the colours that are included, how to make up this rainbow of different colours that you will need. I also, in terms of sizing the projects, and I'll explain this in more detail when we start, but I've given you the option of either weights, so that the body is maybe 70 grams or whatever, but also a size. So these circles are the actual size that you'll need to create the ball that you're relating to, so that you can actually put the ball to the drawing on the topper. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yell if it does, yell if it doesn't. So what's Natasha saying? So for cake topper models, would you recommend clay over modelling paste? So this candy clay, Natasha, is a type of modelling paste. What makes it special? Hi Jenny. What makes it special is it does also have a lovely blend of cocoa butter in it. So it means that we can really blend. We've got no seams. It just joins like magic. I don't use any water or glue to put these together, but it's really nice and firm and holds up nice and firm. So the Candy Clay Firm is essentially a modelling paste. The Candy Clay Original is more of a straightforward modelling chocolate, and I would say possibly a little bit too soft for this kind of topper. All right? Thank you. You're welcome, Natasha. All right, so I'm going to jiggy jig and I'm going to flip my camera so you get to see my pretty face. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jiggy jig this second camera over so that you can actually look up close a little bit more, and then we will get going with the demo, and I'll also show you. I'll sort of talk you through how the tutorial works. Now, what I will say is obviously this kit gives you 4 characters, and they are easy ones, and then some slightly more advanced ones. So you've got a range in there, but you don't obviously have to be tied to what's in here. This is an idea of 4. We've marketed it as a Christmas kit, so there's lots of Christmas colours, but you can make a Santa, you can make a penguin. You've got all the colours in there to do that. You can make a robin. You know, you could go crazy, and obviously the equipment in there will last you longer than just one time only. So let me see if I can flip this camera over. What's Donna saying? I have Candy Clay Original for a project and I haven't used it yet. Yes, Donna! Yes, of course it's shouting at you, naughty girl. She's naughty. Naughty. Okay. All right, got a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to... 1 second, guys. I'm just going to turn this light off. See if that mitigates the shadow a bit. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. Good. So this is probably going to be, is this going to be upside down? Yeah, it's going to be upside down for you. So you can see we've got the snowman. This is a good beginner's one, actually, the snowman. We've got Christmas tree. In fact, that's probably the easiest, the Christmas tree, because it's just a matter of like fat discs. Super cool. Rudolph's a little bit more involved, and we're going to do Ginger here. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to follow my own instructions. How about that? So I'm just going to put that to one side, and I'll explain what I'm doing as I am doing it. So now, just a word to the wise before we get going and before we make the clay. My recommendation: so the clay, when the candy clay, when it comes out of the wee tub like this, it's a pretty hard, firm clay. And I won't lie, when you come to cut it, there's a couple of things that you're going to need that are not included in the kit, and that's a knife, and it's also a cocktail stick and weighing scales, if you want to use weighing scales, but you can just use the visual size guide if you want to. This clay is like a putty, I would say, in texture. Really, it does things that normal sugar paste doesn't do, which is why we use it for this sort of modelling. And it's elastic and it's puttified and it's really great. But it is a workout on the thumbs. So if you are colouring up the paste, my recommendation is that you actually cut off a great big chunk of it and then just put it into the microwave on a very, very, very low setting for about 10 seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna, just for about 10 seconds, just to make it softer. And my recommendation is that you spend probably 10-15 minutes just colouring up your paste using the gel paste that are included. Get yourself some disposable gloves so you're not transferring colour from one end to the other. And that's what I would do. And that's what I did earlier today, is I coloured up the paste that I needed. And as I say, the guide tells you exactly how many drops of each gel colour you need to create the colour that you need, if that makes sense. Yeah. Obviously, you can choose to completely, ignore it. But the idea is, and go with the flow and make yourself a bright pink gingerbread girl. That's absolutely cool too. The idea is that we've made this as simple as possible for you to just kind of follow the rules and follow and achieve the results. So you can see this is the paste in action. It's got a kind of nice stretch to it, and the more you work, it's got this really, really lovely stretch to it. So let's get going with the gingerbread girl, and I'm going to start with the body. So the body is a 70 gram ball, and I can use this as my visual guide. So I've weighed it out, so it's 70 grams. But if you don't want to do that, and again, I did this actually with children in mind, and I did it for visual learners. I have a dyslexic daughter, so I'm learning an awful lot about visual learning. I don't know if anyone else finds that, but sometimes actually just the visual is easier than the written word. So you can just use this as your size guide. You can just put it up against the size guide just to know that you've got the right size ball. So this is the ball for the body. And you always want to start with a ball. There we go. And in your hands, what I want to do is I'm going to just tape that slightly to create a pear drop, I guess a pear drop shape. If anyone can't see the camera angle, or you don't like it, or you want me to move it, just say, yeah, just yell. So we want to go for a teardrop shape. Pretty simple. And this is the one thing that isn't included. Cake Deck Company, they cheated us out of the kit, eh? But I'm sure everyone's got one of these at home. I'm really kidding. It's a cocktail stick. So this is going to be your very, very simple structure. Okay, that's it. Your very simple structure. And we're going to put that through the middle. And we're going to leave enough at the top there, just so that the head can sit on top. Now I'm just going to pinch this up so that I'm making sure that the stick is sort of well and truly embedded into the little pear drop that we've just made. Okay, and that is the body shape. It's quite firm. It's holding up quite nicely. Okay, so that's step one. All right. Now let's go ahead and make the legs. Now I've pre-prepared all these balls. This is the ball. This is the ball that I want. I think it is. What's it saying? It's telling me on the kit, so it's E. So again, I can do the same thing. I can just check that I've got the ball size right. And if you're working with kids, if this is a project that you're doing with children or grandchildren, this is it's good to kind of get everything like this prepared in advance. So for the leg, you start with a ball, and then we're going to roll it into a log of about 6 centimetres. And because I thought of everything, we got a little handy chart here. It's a ruler to size, so you can use and measure that. I'm actually just going to use the squares on my grid. What's Jenny saying? How's your wrist? How's my wrist? It's all right, Jenny. So tell me, does anyone else, given the fact that you are all obviously cake makers and enthusiasts and very busy, in the majority women or people that do lots of things, does anyone else have troubles with pains in their wrists, like repetitive strain injuries and things like that? it came upon me. It's been building on me slowly for probably about a month or two, and then last week I hit extreme shooting pain and I just couldn't use my hands at all, which, given what I do for a living, was slightly alarming. Okay, so that is 6 centimetres, and I'm just going to cut that in half. So I've got 2 even legs. Et voila. And what I want to do with the legs is I'm going to roll and taper one end and try and create a slightly fatter foot. You can't say. Yeah, repetitive strain, yes. It's doing things like this. Oh well, it could be worse. It could be worse. I'm not really complaining. I'm not. So this is your little leg. You see that? We've tapered it. Oh, just to make sure you can see that. We've tapered it and then we've got the little foot. Oh, Donna, do you know about it as well then? Repetitive strain injury. And I think it's one of those things that lingers, you know? It's one of those conditions that just likes to hang around. But I'm a big believer in strengthening the muscles, and I'm trying to give myself massage, things like that, you know, just to really sort of help it out, really. So I've got 2 legs here. I want to make sure that my body is still nice and upright, which it is. I'm going to check that my 2 legs are about the same size, which they are. So now we're going to go into our first tool, which is the ball tool, and we're going to create 2 holes that we're going to put the legs in, so 1 on either side. And I'm just going to push in my ball tool, and as I push in the ball tool, what it's going to do is it's going to it's going to move the paste slightly, and it's going to create a belly for me. So you may have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery just to, if it moves too much. And a little tip for you, if the paste gets very warm, or if it's warm where you're working, you can put this in the fridge for about 5-10 minutes just to firm it up. It is a fairly firm paste, you shouldn't need to, but if you do need to, if you are blessed with super hot hands, or as I say, you're working in a warm country, then you can absolutely do that. So I've created 2 holes, and into those holes we are just going to put in these little legs. So the legs are skinny and they've got these big fat feet, and in it goes at the end. As I say, I'm not using any glue, I'm not using any water, because I just don't need it. I'm going to put those legs in there, and I'm going to use the Dresden just to help tease that in. And if you just want to you know, what am I trying to say? If you want to rejig the feet here, just to make sure that you've got that lovely sort of fat, chubby foot. That's what we're going for, because it's a gingerbread man, after all, gingerbread girl. One other thing which isn't included in the kit, which you may or may not find useful, is a little cornflour pouch. I do get quite sticky hands, so I like to kind of use that afterwards. So, there we go, 2 feet. Now I tell you, you learn this technique, you can pretty much make anything, any animal. you can do a teddy bear, you can do a lion. It's a real, and again, which is why it's a good one for beginners or for kids, because it's fairly simple and yet you do achieve a really great shape from it. So let's go ahead and do the arms. Back to my little kit, and again, it's telling me the size of ball that I need, so it's all there for you. We're going to, in the same way as we did with the legs, we're going to start with a ball. Always start with a ball, and then we're going to roll out into a log. And we're going to roll the log into 4 centimetres. So tell me, has anybody started making anything for Christmas yet, food-wise? I know some people that I follow on Instagram have already started making and freezing. We have already made the gingerbread house, and it's in the freezer. I haven't assembled it yet. I've baked all the pieces. And we are going to maybe do that this weekend or next week, I think, when the kids break up from school. Right, is that my 4 centimetres? Yeah, so that's 4 centimetres. I'm going to cut that in half. Again, I'm just using my cutting mat as a guide, but you can use the ruler that's inside the chart. And we're just going to roll 2 2 arms. We're keeping the shapes really basic. We're keeping them nice and simple. Nothing too taxing, right? It's Christmas after all. But these little guys would look very, very cute on cupcakes, or if you are going to do, like we are, doing a gingerbread setup, they could look quite nice decorating the gingerbread setup too. So what I want to do is I just want to flatten and taper the arm, because I'm going to attach this, the flat end, we're going to attach here to the arm like to create the shoulder. Can you see that? And we don't want to put it on thick like that because it's just going to stick out. So if we just squash that down with our fingers and flatten that out. You've poured your first Christmas cocktail this evening. And what is in the Christmas cocktail? Miss Square Hen, what is in the cocktail, please tell us? Have we got Christmas vibes in there? What would be in a Christmas cocktail? Amaretto? I don't know. Tell me. So I've just put the arms on here. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to use my Dresden. And again, you can see no glue, right? We don't need it. It sticks to itself. It blends to itself. Light cheese? Light cheese in the cocktail? Really? Okay, I see that. I guess you do have light cheese at Christmas, don't you? You need a bit of satsuma in there too, Jenny. What's Lisa saying? Snowmen and reindeer macarons! Get you, Lisa! That sounds very exciting. Now, have you just got the shells in the freezer, or have you done the whole lot, the whole shebang? Or have you just done the shells and then you're going to fill them later? Okay, so while Lisa comes back and tells me what is in her freezer, because I kind of want to know now, I feel like I need to sort of probably get a little bit further ahead with mine. So when Lisa comes back and tells me, this is the point we're going to get to with the bottom. So we need this now just to firm up. It's a fantastic modelling paste, but it still needs a bit of time. You could speed this up by putting it in the fridge, or you could just let it air dry for about two hours or so. So you just put that to one side. While it's firming up, we are going to go on and move to the gingerbread head. Okay. What's Lisa saying? Just the shells. Yes. They freeze really well, macaron shells. They're a fantastic party pleaser. So moving on to the head, I've obviously already pre-weighed my ball. This is my G ball here, so I can just check that I've got the right size against the image, which I do, because I'm good like that. So let's roll. What makes these characters quite cute is the fact that they have quite big heads. So getting a slightly bigger head sat on that body makes all the difference. So we roll into a ball, and I just want to flatten it into a sort of, well, what is that? A sort of a flat thing, a disc, a chubby disc. And that's perfect. And what's lovely about this design is we can work on this flat, and it doesn't matter that it's flat because it's gingerbread. We don't need to sort of worry about a rounded head at the back. Okay, so just bring that down so that you can see that. So there is our head. We are going to take our ball tool, and I'm going to just about halfway down the face, we're going to create the eye sockets. Just start by putting in a slight indentation just to check that you're happy with where they are. Lisa's saying, does it sweat in the fridge like fondant? Yes, if you left it in there a long time it would, Lisa, yes. So when I say pop it in the fridge for 5 minutes, I really do mean pop it in the fridge for 5 minutes. Having said that, I have, just through course of experimentation and other things, left candy clay projects in the fridge overnight. And what will happen is that when you take them out to room temperature, they will sweat, but if you give them enough time, they will dry back up to room temperature. So you can do it if you're working in advance or it's really hot and you don't have the choice. But normally the refrigeration is a quick technique for speed rather than leaving it in there for a long time, if you see what I mean. So 2 holes in there. We're going to go in with the Dresden, the wide side of the Dresden, and we're going to create a little mouth. So just straight in and just push that down. Just going to use the pointy end to create a nice little sort of ends to the smile, really. There we go. Looking like some sort of deranged ghost gingerbread face now, okay? And that's it. So we're going to take a little bit of black and we're just going to fill in. So again, black candy clay, and I'm going to roll 2 little balls. You want them to be, no, that's too small. You want them to be the same kind of size before you put them in. And what you want to do is drop them into the hole that you've made, but you don't want them too big because you don't really want them bulging out. So the ball should be slightly smaller than you need. And then when we flatten it, it will spread and fill. If I just do that, then we're a little bit closer, and then you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Then I'll just drop that other ball in there. There we go. So just flatten that with my fingers, and those are in. I'm going to give, just check that I haven't distorted it too much. A little alien face. I'm going to roll a couple of little, what are these called? Eyebrows. I'm thinking about your lychee cocktail now, Jenny. I think I quite fancy a lychee cocktail. That sounds quite good. I came across a recipe online, actually, talking about Christmas booze, for an eggnog cheesecake. Has anybody ever made that? I thought I might give that a go, because I love eggnog. I know it's not everybody's favourite, but I do absolutely love it. So cute little eyebrows in place there. And then just to finish the face off, we need a little bit of pink, which we make just by using the red gel paste, which is included, the magic red, which is included just into the white, and just a few drops to make the pink. The idea is these kits are, it does sound delicious, doesn't it? The idea is that these kits hopefully will, you know, are just simple enough to give you lots of different adaptations, basically. Right, oh, we're back to the cocktail, people. We're back to the cocktail. So what's Jenny saying? It contains white rum, vodka, and lychee liqueur. Blimey! Goodness me. Right, that sounds delicious. In the words of, what's his name? Craig Revel. What's his name? Craig Revel. Him from Strictly. He doesn't say delicious, he says fabulous, but it sounds like that, Jenny. All right, so let's roll 2 little pinky cheeks. Again, just making sure that you're lining up and keeping those balls fairly even. Just lost a little bit of definition here. And then you want to roll another little ball, which you're going to put inside the mouth. Just inside there. And then in the same way, you just want to flatten those balls. So really simple little shapes, simple little techniques, maximum cuteness. But like I was saying before, I would definitely recommend with the kits or any type of modelling, whether it's, you know, you use this kit or you do something else, that you prep everything that you need first, you know, all the colours, everything else that you need. Let's put in a little bit of white, some white accents into the eye. So 2 teeny weeny little white dots. One on that side and one on the other. All gets a little bit fiddly when you're doing very little things. So just roll that and put that there. comme ça. Push those in. Now, in your kit, you will have the most wonderful thing, which is this edible pen. I'm sure you're all familiar with edible pens. These are so great because they write on anything and they just make life so much easier, especially when you're doing little toppers like this. If you want to add in some little details and you don't want to be fiddling about with teeny weeny bits of black sugar paste, modelling paste, which can drive you crazy, the pen is really good. So that's why we've included it in the kit. Has 1,000 million, I'm totally not exaggerating, uses. So really, really good. I'm going to use a pen that I have actually open, so I won't open that. And I'm going to use the pen on Ginger here just to create some nice eyelashes. So we're just going to give her a flick up on either side. Really simple, but just a little extra detail. It's just going to help with that characterization, basically. So the body and the head now need to just set up and firm for a little bit. So you can either just leave them on the side, or you can, as I say, put them in the fridge for 10 minutes, but don't go out and go Christmas shopping and then leave them for 8 hours, because they will, like Lisa said, they will get a little bit sweaty in the fridge. So use the fridge judiciously. Now, because I'm so prepared, here is one that I made earlier. So this is now firm. Yeah, Diane, the kits, it's the Candy Clay Christmas kits, and it's a bundle of all sorts of goodies. There'll be a picture there that shows you. So that's nice and firm. And this is my head, which is nice and firm. Now, I won't show you this tonight because otherwise I'll be here all night chatting, and Jenny will have had like 5 cocktails by that point, and who knows what will happen. So I won't show you the bow, but the bow it's really simple. It literally just starts with a little ball of paint. So you can accessorize, right? You can do whatever you like. See, look, she's had a couple of cocktails already, I can see. So what we want to do is we now want to attach the head to the body, and we want to just add in a few extra details. So before I go ahead and put the head on the body, I'm going to add some buttons into the body here. So the small end of the ball tool, this is a fantastically useful tool. Does everybody own a ball tool? Give me a yay, give me a nay in the comments. Isn't that what they say when you see people? Give me a yay, give me a nay. It's a really useful tool. So if you don't have one, this kit will give you one, and you will thank me and you will say, Zoe, I use it for everything. Thank you so much. Now you can just choose what you put in here. You could put little, you could put sprinkles in here, I suppose. I'm just using the candy clay, which I have coloured. Choose your colour. I'm glad everyone's having a nice time. I'm glad everyone is having a nice time. And are they feeling Christmassy? This is what I want to know. We haven't got our tree up yet. I've bought it. It's sat in a bucket outside our front door, waiting for me to bring it into the house, and we're all going to decorate it this weekend. And I know that once the tree goes up, I will begin to feel a bit Christmassy. I keep rolling a ball that's too small. It's doing my head in. Let's try again with a slightly bigger, little bigger ball. So straight into the hole. And this is nice and firm. It's not going to move. It's not going to go anywhere because we've allowed it to firm up. So we'll have an orange one and a yellow one because that's just what I had. In they go. And just press those in, those little buttons. Okay, so we want to get the head on. Now you could brush a little bit of water on here if you wanted to, if you felt that you needed it. I am not going to do that. I'm going to live dangerously, folks, because I don't think we need it. What I am going to do is now I just want to check that you can see this properly. Sorry. It's like camera work here. I just want to make sure that we're adding maximum character. So with the head, I'm inclined to just put it on at a slight angle so that it's tipped, so that she's looking to one side. And I'm just going to very, very slowly. Oh, I've lost an eyebrow. Lost an eyebrow, that's fine, we'll get that back on. I'm just going to tip that on and just put her onto her body. Can you see that now? Yay, there we go. So let's just get the eyebrow back on, because a lady with one eyebrow is just never a good look, is it? All right, there she is. All right, so a couple more details just to finish her off. She needs a scarf, and she also needs a little bit of trimming. One idea for you, if you wanted to change this up and you didn't want to put a bow, you could put an icing drip over the top. Hi, Phinia. She's cute, right? Without much effort. She's really quite sweet. So let's take a small ball of white, and I'm going to just roll myself a super long skinny log. And while I'm doing that, I'll just go back to what I was saying. So yes, if you didn't want to have the bow, there's nothing to stop you putting like a blodge of icing, and then you put sprinkles on it. That could look quite cute. Or you could have a little holly leaf, something like that. That's pretty cute too. Or if you wanted to, when you roll out this thin piece of white paste that I'm doing now, you could, if you're feeling really ambitious, you could attempt to squiggle. You know how gingerbread people have little squiggles across their heads and their arms and things? You could do that. So I'm going to roll this quite thin, and the paste is great. It holds up nice and firm. It won't break on me. Whenever I do these sorts of demos, and I was at Cake International and Cake and Bake recently, and I got an awful lot of people saying the same thing, that they really struggle making toppers. I don't know if anyone else finds that. And after sort of talking to people, I realised that in so many cases, the issue isn't the person and what they're trying to do. It's the paste that they're using. They're just not using the right paste for the job. And, you know, guys, that can really make life so much harder. When you have the right paste, you suddenly just realise that it's not you. It's not you, it's the paste, and you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. So I've rolled out some little white bits, and it's just little trim. So we're going to put trim on the feet, just across the feet here. Really simple. Small little simple details, but they just finish her off and just add to her character. So 2 around the feet, and then 2 around the arms. And as I say, if you want to go fancy, you could roll them skinnier. You do need to have the right paste and different, you know. And the other thing that we discuss quite a lot at the Sugar Street Studios Cake Academy is just knowing the right thing for the right job. And there are loads of different pastes out there. You know, there's pastes for sculpting, there's pastes for modelling, there's pastes for covering super sharp wedding cakes. There's paste for making flowers. There's a whole load of different stuff. I think when you start, it can be quite bamboozling. And I would say, invest in a really good sugar paste. Find a really good sugar paste. And I'm going to give a plug here for the sugar paste. I think maybe Tori, you'll put a link up for that. It's such a good sugar paste. It's really flexible, really forgiving, really marshmallowy taste. Doesn't tear, doesn't rip. Just makes your life, if you're a beginner cake maker, it just makes your life easier. Why wouldn't you want to make your life easier, right? Tell me why you wouldn't want to make your life easier. And then equally with modelling, a lot of people do try and model with sugar paste with a little bit of Tylose put in. Yes, that does work, right? It does work, and it does have its place for sure. But it has limitations, guys. It has limitations. So if you want to be doing models that are holding up, that are quite nice and firm, or that they're quite intricate, you need a paste that's got more function to it. So something like the Candy Clay Firm will do that. Diane, what are you asking me, my lovely? Once you've coloured your paste, what's the best way to store, and how long will it last being stored? Excellent question. Okay, so when I colour my paste, I tend to use, okay, this is a bit gribbly, this one. These little self-sealing bags with the little clips in them, you can get them in different sizes, and you get miniature, like snack packs and all stuff, all sorts of different sizes. I tend to store them in that, trying to get a small bag so there's not a lot of air around it, and then I put it back into the tub and store it like that. It will keep. It has a really long shelf life. You'll probably have it with about 2 years on it. It keeps for a really long time. It's completely edible. It's vegan actually as well, this paste, which is an added benefit of it, because a lot of pastes aren't vegan, but this one is. I'm just going to roll out the scarf. So I'm just going to start with a little ball. And again, all the size, the guides and everything are in the little handy booklet. The little handy booklet comes with it. Which hopefully will be easier to follow than me jabbering nonsense at you. Right. Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. Jibber jabber. But yes, I know what I was going to say. It's vegan, and it has a sort of, I guess I would say it has a neutral taste to it. You can, if you want to oomph it up, you can absolutely knead in some oils, like flavour oils, like peppermint oils, things like that. It won't change the consistency. So what I find with these sorts of toppers, in truth, is that most people don't eat them, that they're generally kept as keepsakes, really. But kids do like to eat them. And if I feel that it's going to be eaten, I will actually try and knead in a little bit of flavour to it, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So hopefully you saw what I did there. I just rolled a ball, elongated it out, and then I just flattened it with my fingers, right? Just check that is long enough, which it is just. So again, nothing fancy, okay? Nothing fancy, nothing difficult, nothing tricky at all. You can all do this. We're after kind of maximum cute factor and fun, right? The idea of these kits is they're meant to be fun. And quite often when I'm working, I don't know about anyone else, but when the kids were with me, they always wanted to do stuff around me. So actually giving them projects to do while I'm working was an absolute lifesaver. So the idea for this kit did come out of that. But if you have a child that is into decorating, this is a really nice present for them, because they've got immediate projects to work with. I also have lots of other projects on the Sugar Street Studios YouTube channel using the candy clay, so you can kind of copy that as well. I'm just using the pointy end, oops, where's the camera? Just using the pointy end of my Dresden to create a little bit of fringing on the scarf. And all I'm going to do is just bring that round. And again, I'm not going to use glue. You can see I'm not a believer in the glue. I'm not going to use glue. I'm just going to use my Dresden just to kind of push this in. But this scarf will provide the join between the head and the body, and just give her a little bit more character. I'll just see. Yeah, and there she is. And just flip that up. Ta-da! What's Lisa saying? I'm going to give it a go. I've been 50-50 modelling chocolate fondant, can't find a happy medium. Right, my love. It really does. Hey, Kerry. It really, again, I'm going to go back to what I said about using the right paste for the right job. So, Ginger, she's called Ginger, Jenny. Obviously. Duh. Ginger Lychee Chambers. So sorry, Lisa, I was getting distracted. I'm being heckled. That's what's going on. I'm being heckled. Can you believe this? So the 50-50 modelling chocolate and fondant I use all the time when I'm sculpting. So when I am making cakes, and you can kind of see behind me, but when I'm making these sort of bust cakes and things like this, that's the kind of mix that I use all the time. And it's much smoother. It's quite forgiving. It's softer, But when you're trying to create something that's smaller and you're handling it quite a lot with your hands, and your hands are getting quite warm and it needs to support itself and all the rest of it, and maybe you're using an armature and maybe you're not, a modelling paste, a firmer modelling paste is going to serve you much better. I speak from experience with all of this, so don't give up on the 50-50 chocolate fondant, but just maybe change your application for it, if that makes sense. Yeah, so there she is. Let's flip the camera back again. And as I say, she comes with the tutorial, with the kit. I think the kit is, Tori will tell us, I think it's $34.99, so it's just under £35. So it's a reduction if you were to buy all the things independently. But ultimately you get 4 projects and then leftovers for whatever you want to make afterwards. Plus you get these absolute must-haves, especially if you're new and you don't have the tools. You get the tools and the pen and the blah 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 and the blah 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 and the blah 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 blah. So that is it. So really lovely to see everybody. Enjoy your cocktails. Enjoy whatever else it is that you're doing this evening. And if you have any questions about the kit at any point, you just go ahead and ask me. Just find me on social, tag, or put a post up on Cake Deck. I'm sure that they'll answer as well. But it's a Christmas thing, it's a seasonal thing, so we haven't got loads of them. We're just going to put a few out. And as I say, just really born out of the idea of just making a fun project that is there, but then has longevity afterwards with useful tools and useful bits and pieces that you can kind of take into the ether. So be inspired, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed watching Ginger. Thank you to the Cake Decorating Company for having me. Thank you, everyone, for being awesome. And I will see you all very soon. See you later. Bye, guys.